just yet.
Okay, let me warm up to this man. He's a very nice guy.
They said, Sonny's like family to us, and you're just some dude who's visiting for Christmas.
Who smells a little interesting. I wouldn't say funny, but it's interesting.
Well, it's actually, it's lifesavers. Do you want to smell it? Yeah. Oh, Sonny, it's good to see you. Awesome. Oh, hey, there's an 18 plus show tonight that people are supposed to go see, right? Is that happening tonight? What's it called?
Burlesque show tonight. I think it's the Glitterati Gals at 8 o'clock. Please show up. My wife is singing in it.
That's kind of why I'm sort of interested in
Maybe stripping.
It'll be in this room. So at 8 or what, 8, 9? 8 o'clock. His wife will be singing on this very couch where my butt is right now. Music will be coming from this butt area. See you later. Okay, the Brotherhood series, I loved it when Alex Louis Armstrong ran into Bizarro Armstrong towards the end. I forgot what his name was. Remember towards the end of the series where he runs into some dude? Yeah, was it the teacher's husband? Is that what it was? Yeah, and they were all like super buff together, and they're all like, I'm strong, sparkle, sparkle. It's like they had a moment together, like, wait a second, in another dimension. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, how much did you like Crayon Shin-Chan?
I loved Crayon Shin-Chan. I wish Crayon Shin-Chan we were still dubbing that, because I love that show. I played Mr. K. He was I's bodyguard, the guy who always used to like drive I around, you know, like, hey, you want me to punch him in the junk? Or like, I played this dude named, what was his name? The Yanro. He was the kind of the really disgusting dude who just couldn't get into community college. He just could not get accepted into community college.
Oh, that guy.
And it was also the narrator, dude, if you guys remember, like, I loved the narrator in that show too, because he would just say the most random things. He would just interject nothing. I think at one point he just yells, lesbians! And that was it. I don't think it had anything to do with the scene either. Yes, you, blonde hair.
So, what was your opinion about voicing Ayame for Fruits Basket?
Voicing Ayame for Fruits Basket was a different thing for me. It was a change of pace from all the dudes who can normally shoot fire out of their hands or cut people in half with their swords or punch people really hard or get really angry. He was like the polar opposite of every character I'd ever played. And when the casting for that show came up, I had told Justin, who was directing Fruits Basket, I'm like, hey, I think it'd be fun to play Hattori or something. Maybe I'd like to audition for that. And he goes, no, I've got something real special for you. And he had me audition for that, and I took the VHS tape home and was a little shocked. And he was the only character I actually ever had to take the episode, like the script and episode home for him, kind of practice the lines the night before, because he spoke so fast, and normally my characters speak very slow, methodically, and angrily, and he was very high-pitched and happy about everything. Weird. Like I wish people ask me about what it was like to record on Fruits Basket, but it's really hard to remember what it was like, because it was like 11 years ago, and it took about 3 weeks for me to record all of it, so it was such a long time ago. It's starting to fade. I think I just need to go like watch it all again or something. That's what I'm gonna do. Next time I'm here, we'll just watch Fruits Basket. All of it for 4 hours. We'll bring tissues and we'll cry together. Actually, on second thought, let's not do that. I'm just kidding. Maybe we could. Would I do it with DBZ? I would still need tissues. Anger tissues. You have a question there next to the dude in the glasses, yes.
Yes. Have you ever seen the online parody Dragon's Ball P?
Oh, Dragon's Ball P? Yes. That is an awesome parody, and I love it a lot. I don't know what else to say. But it was really funny. Someone showed it to me. One of the very first viral videos I remember one of the first Dragon Ball Z viral videos was this one called Dragon Ball Z in a Nutshell. Do you remember that one? Where it was just like the really super high speed, fast, like it only lasted about like 1 minute or something like that. It was like, oh, we're gonna die, and Krillin does nothing, or whatever. It was pretty funny. I think that's where the Team 4-Star guys got their idea, really. I mean, I think that's where they got all their ideas. All of them. Sorry, I didn't mean to speak in my demon voice. Yes, you in the far back.
So, a while back, I watched your commentary with the other main characters for Yu Yu Hakusho, and I think you said you wanted to voice Hiei. Like, how did they decide that you were going to voice Kuwabara? Like, did you audition for Hiei and they decided that you were going to voice Kuwabara?
I auditioned for both Hiei and Kuwabara, but I really wanted to play Hiei because, of course, he had a sword and he could shoot fire out of his hands. I mean, because he was the tough guy, and I thought, well, of course. But I think I really am happy with the choice that Justin made to use Chuck Huber on Hiei. I thought Chuck Huber was amazing on Hiei. I'm really glad I got to play Kuwabara. He was fun. It's a lot more fun to play comic heroes than it is to play like super serious heroes who hate everybody. I mean, at least you aren't angry at the end of your sessions. Because when I record Dragon Ball Z, people know that I recorded Dragon Ball Z because I am mad when I leave the booth. I'm sweaty and angry and I don't smell like lifesavers anymore. And I'm so mad. They're like, you've been recording Dragon Ball Z again? No! Okay, yes, maybe. Yes.
So you mentioned earlier as an anime voice actor, you're recording alone in the room. You ever go over your lines with people who are in the scene with you?
No, we typically don't ever meet the other actors that are in the booth. I mean, we know them eventually over time, meeting them at cast parties or before or after a session, but typically you don't have more than one person in the booth. It's just the actor and the script and the director and his script and the engineer, and that's it. And the video and silence and crying. But yeah, it's pretty fun. But it is a very solitary thing. You don't really get to play a lot off the other people, which makes the director extremely important when dubbing anime, particularly because the director has to know kind of how he wants the whole scene to sound in order to give you the right direction. Because the first person who records, you're just recording in complete silence. I mean, you get the sound effects and the music in your ear, but you're just having a conversation with no one. It's not as cool as when you come in towards the end of the episode and everyone else is there. It's a lot more fun to record. Yes, you right behind.
Those who want to have a career in voice acting, do you have some advice?
I have a lot of advice for people who want to get into voice acting. If you have a voice that's similar to mine, I would say just don't worry about it. Like, there's really not a lot of opportunities, and it's just a sad existence. So, especially if you sound exactly like me or can do very similar things to me, I would not recommend you get into it at all. And that's just, I'm looking after you, really. I'm kidding. There's a lot of advice I have for people who want to be voice actors. One, it's to definitely follow your dream of being a voice actor, but don't be so myopic about what you want to do that you don't see some of the other opportunities. And I think that the best idea for anyone who wants to be a voice actor is to think of voice acting as kind of like the very center of the dartboard, but try and throw as many darts around it as possible. Get involved, especially when people say, I want to be an anime voiceover. That's basically saying, I want to be an endangered species, sort of. Like, it's hard to get into voice acting for one, and then you're even narrowing it down even further. So I suggest to people who are interested in being voice actors to get involved in production, get involved in learning to record themselves, or maybe you can go into being, get as close to you as you can to the stuff that you want to do, to see if it's even what you want to do. I didn't necessarily know I wanted to be a voice actor before I became a voice actor. I was an opera singer of all things. I was going to school for opera, and I realized this is the worst career choice I've ever made. But I think that also the future of voice acting and the future of production and acting is different than it used to be. I might have been, and I'm gonna have a point here eventually. I might have been one of the last generation of people who has like a really lucky break and gets to do something awesome without having like a huge amount of experience doing it first. Because I think right now we are in the era of people creating their own destiny for themselves, like the Team 4-Star guys, for instance. I give him a round of applause. But only him, not for any of the other Team 4-Star guys. This is just for Curtis right now. Okay, cool. So it seems like right now, if you want to do something, you have all the tools to pretty much do it yourself now. So the best thing to do is, if you want to be a voice actor, start doing it. Just start dubbing over stuff if you want to. I'm not necessarily saying it's a good idea to take other people's intellectual property and make it your own, but as long as you're doing it for education or for humor or whatever, just do it. As long as you're not trying to make, stealing something from someone in order to make money off of it, I'd say go ahead and do it. Because I think right now, if you want to be a voice actor, you technically can be, and you've got a giant audience to do that. Now, if you do want to be a voice actor on cartoons or anime or and those sort of things, the best idea is to move to somewhere that actually does that. Dallas or New York or California or Vancouver, or there's little pockets of places that do that kind of stuff. You definitely would have to move into that area. But in the meantime, if you're just like, hey, I'm thinking about being a voice actor, my suggestion is to practice it as much as possible. Get used to hearing your own voice. The more comfortable you are hearing yourself, especially in headphones, the less awkward you're going to be in an audition where they put headphones on you and you have to do something. The more confidence you have when you walk in, the more you can focus on actually acting and auditioning instead of having to overcome the fear and anxiety you get when you first step into a padded booth with headphones on. It's completely dark and it's silent and like everyone's sort of staring at you. You'd be surprised how quickly your confidence will take a dive if you're not prepared for some of that stuff,